All right, let's talk about success. Today we're going to tear down the old definition and build a new one from the ground up. We're going to explore a framework that goes way beyond just your job title or how much you achieve and gets to something much, much more fulfilling.
So let's just jump right in with a pretty big question. What if the way we all think about success is actually, well, holding us back? I mean, seriously, take a second. What does that word really mean to you? And maybe more importantly, where did that definition even come from?
And that really gets to the core of it, right? Research points out that for like 100 years, we've been conditioned to see success through this tiny, narrow little people. Things like test scores, grades, what you achieve in school. We've gotten so focused on that one type of brain power that we've totally forgotten about all the other stuff that actually makes for a good, successful life.
Okay, so if the old way of looking at it is broken, what do we do? Well, let's unpack a totally different model. It's a three-part framework called the CPR framework. And believe me, it gives you a much, much bigger and more complete picture of what success can be.
So, the CPR framework, it's built on three really important, interconnected ideas. You've got capacity, basically what you're capable of doing. Then there's passion, what you actually love doing. And finally, relevance, the why behind it, the impact it all has. Let's dig into each one of these.
First up, capacity. Now, this is not just about book smarts or your IQ. The framework sees it as something way bigger. Yeah, your intellectual skills are part of it, for sure, but it also includes your emotional skills, like how resilient you are, your social skills, connecting with people, even your physical health and your ability to find meaning in life. It's the whole package, everything you've got in your toolkit.
Okay, next is passion. And this is the fuel. It's the engine that makes everything go. Passion is your drive, your motivation. It's the stuff you actually enjoy, the things you find important enough to pour your time and energy into without anyone telling you to. Because without that passion, even the most talented person is going to run out of steam. It's the want to that really powers the can do.
And that brings us to the final piece of this puzzle, relevance. This is the so what of it all. What's the point? Relevance is all about the impact you have, the contribution you're making. And that could be for yourself, for your family, your community, or hey, even the whole world. It's what connects what you do every day to a bigger purpose.
So, okay, we've got these three huge concepts: capacity, passion, and relevance. But just having them in your life isn't quite enough. The real magic, the secret sauce, is when they all line up perfectly. There's a special state of mind where this happens, and it's the absolute key to this whole framework. But, and there's always a but, getting there, and more importantly, staying there, means you have to face a pretty common roadblock that's inside all of us.
And that magic happens right here, in the middle. See that overlap? That sweet spot where what you're good at, what you love, and what actually matters all come together? That's a state called presence. This, right here, is the bullseye. It's the true heart of a successful, well-rounded life.
But what even is presence, really? Well, the writer Eckhart Tolle puts it perfectly. He says, you can't think about presence. Your mind can't grasp it. The only way to understand presence is to be present. It's not a concept, it's an experience. It's that feeling of being totally engaged in what you're doing, without judgment. You know that flow state people talk about, when you're so into something that hours feel like minutes? That's presence.
Sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? Just live in that sweet spot, be present. Easy. Except it's not. So why is it so incredibly hard for us to do that? What is this thing that's always yanking us out of the moment and stopping us from finding that alignment?
Well, according to Tolle, that obstacle has a name. He calls it the pain body. And it's a really powerful way to understand those internal roadblocks that keep us trapped in the same old cycles and stop us from just being here now.
So what is this pain body? Tolle describes it as this collection of all the old emotional junk we've never fully dealt with. Every past hurt, every bit of sadness or anger that we push down. It all clumps together and just kind of lives inside us like a sleeping volcano of negative energy, just waiting for something to set it off.
You can think of the pain body as having two modes, dormant and active. For a lot of us, it's dormant most of the time, but then, boom, some random thought or an innocent comment from someone and it wakes up. And when it's active, it's like putting on a pair of glasses that tints everything with negativity. It completely hijacks your perception, and you start seeing everything and everyone through the filter of that old pain. And this is where it gets really dangerous. See, the pain body has one goal: to survive. And the way it survives is by tricking you into thinking that it is you. The moment you unconsciously identify with it, it's got you. It takes over, It becomes that negative voice in your head. It fuels your angry reactions. As Tolle says, it literally becomes you, and it starts living its life through you, just creating more and more pain.
I know, that sounds pretty scary. But here's the good news. There is a way out. There's a clear path you can take to break free from its control and get back to that state of presence we were talking about.
And the solution isn't what you might think. You don't fight it, you don't try to reason with it or push it away. The key is simply awareness. Tolle explains that the second you just notice it, the moment you can feel that negative energy rising up inside you and you can just watch it without judging it, that connection is broken. You suddenly realize, wait, I am not this feeling. I am the one noticing this feeling. And in that simple act of observation, it starts to lose all its power over you.
There's an old parable that explains this idea perfectly. You've probably heard it. A grandfather tells his grandson, "A fight is going on inside me. It's a terrible fight between two wolves. One wolf is evil. It's anger, greed, sorrow. The other is good, joy, peace, love." The grandson thinks for a minute and asks, "Grandfather, which wolf will win?" And the grandfather simply replies, "The one you feed."
And that brings it all full circle, back to the pain body. When you get lost in your pain, when you believe it's who you are, you're feeding that evil wolf. You're giving it all your attention, all your energy, and you're making it stronger. But the moment you choose to just watch it, to observe it mindfully, you stop feeding it. You cut off its food supply. And without you feeding it, it starts to get weaker.
So in the end, this whole journey to a more present, a more truly successful life really boils down to that one simple choice, made over and over again in every single moment. That battle between the two wolves, it's happening inside you right now. So the only real question left is, which one are you going to feed today?